Well, for the second day in a row, we've got a massive FA Cup tie at home against a Premier League team. We beat Arsenal yesterday. Sorry, spoilers if you didn't. I mean, you should be watching the episodes in order, though. But we beat Arsenal yesterday. Today we have West Brom. Maybe this time we'll get the draw, go back to their place and get all of the lovely FA Cup monies. That would be lovely. Hello and welcome to part 31 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we do have that FA Cup fourth round tie at home against West Brom, followed by a home game against Boston in the league. In fact, somehow 5 home games in a row in all competitions. How has that happened? Unless, of course, we get a draw with West Brom and we get an away game against West Brom in the second part of this episode. That would be lovely. Since you were last with me, we have continued our excellent form that you saw in full effect against Arsenal and Telford in the last match. This is what the league table looks like. Obviously, although we're having a lot of fun in the FA Cup, the league is still our number one priority. Proper football manager speak, and this is where we find ourselves 5 points behind Wrexham with a game in hand. I think we do still play Wrexham. We play Wrexham very soon, so that suddenly becomes a massive game. In other news, we are still in the FA Trophy as well, so there's still lots to play for this season. One thing that is a bit of a problem is Connor Stanley, who has been such an important player for us over the last 2 seasons, but has got a proper sulk on to the point where I'm not currently playing him because he's trying to force through a move to Cheltenham. I don't know what's so attractive about Cheltenham, other than the fact that they're in the Football League, but the way we've been going, we'll be there soon too. Connor Stanley is young enough, with enough potential, to just wait and do it with us, but he will not hear it. He's under contract for another 2.5 years. I'm not against making him see out his contract if he carries on being a silly goose like he is at the moment. But what he has done is talk himself out of a spot in the matchday squad for the West Brom game. So what a silly bear. We're not putting him back in the shop window again like we did against Arsenal when he played reasonably well. So this is the team we are playing against West Brom. We've gone back to the 4-3-3 shape as well that we did use against Arsenal. We're still using the 4-2-3-1 in the league, but I think this just makes more sense against real top quality opposition. And remember, West Brom are currently 5th in the Premier League. This isn't a real life version of West Brom. This is a West Brom that are Champions League contenders and, according to the Premier League league table, a better team than Arsenal, who we knocked out in the last round, and presumably will be more on their guard than Arsenal were and might play a stronger team than Arsenal did. So we've got Mayle in goal, a back four of Critchlow Noble, Vaughan, Colley and Diallo, with Pozo offering protection in front of them. Smith and Wolf are our midfield, with Powell up front, supported by Clark and Broom, who's there in the place of the aforementioned Connor Stanley. Let's get into the game. Somehow, just like with the Arsenal match, this isn't on telly either. So I don't know what we have to do to get a match on the telly. We've had matches on the telly in the FA Trophy and things like that as well. You'd think, especially after the last round, they'd just send a few cameras here to Kiln Park today, but apparently not. So the team talk we used against Arsenal is this one, I think. I know we're underdogs. Go out there and give the fans something to cheer for. Mick Powell, just like he did against Arsenal, he's loving it. A bit of weather's not going to hurt us. Don't care who they've got in their team. Doesn't make any difference to us. The important thing is we're in a state. It's snowing. Amazing. We're in a ground that only holds 3,000 people. At most, 150 of them are going to be West Brom fans. So it's going to be a really alien atmosphere, a really hostile atmosphere in the snow on a terrible pitch. You never know. Stranger things have happened, like Arsenal in the last round, for example. Here's Pozo playing it all the way out to Critchlow Noble, who's got the opportunity to get the ball into the middle for Powell. I can't track where the ball is. It's getting mixed amongst the snow, but I hear it may have gone into the back of the net. Martin Smith has just scored from the edge of the area, 16 minutes on the clock. Tell me it's not happening again, boys and girls. This is madness. For the second time in 2 days, we are 1-0 up at home against a Premier League side in the FA Cup. Just like against Arsenal yesterday, I do fully expect us to still get an absolute spanking. But we're 1-0 up. And it's Smith. We're still attacking. Critchlow Noble finds Powell. Back to Critchlow Noble again. To Smith. Ika Pozo's just made it 2-0 with another long-range screamer. Imagine being a West Brom fan in this ground right now. There's no covering anywhere. You're stood out in the snow. There's a tiny group of you with a couple of thousand screaming villagers around you. And you're 2-0 down after 20 minutes. I'd be getting back in the car and heading home. I still expect us to lose. I will put that out there. I do still expect us to lose. And they do now have a goal back, and it's an instant reply. And there's now been 3 long-range efforts in this match. I mean, if the goalkeepers are finding visibility as difficult as I am, I'm not surprised. I think it's probably because they've got the pink... Is it a pink ball they use in the FA Cup? Or a pink ball that they use for snow or something. Me being red-green colourblind, I ain't picking out a red ball on a green pitch. No idea where it is. I'm literally I'm watching the shapes of the players and following the text commentary along the bottom of the screen. It's like I'm trying to commentate to a match to you, but all the information I've got is updates on teletext, or I guess Twitter for you fancy youngsters who don't use teletext but do use Twitter. But what I can see is the scoreboard, and at half time in the 4th round of the FA Cup, it's Holme 2, West Brom 1. Send the TV cameras now, somebody. It's happening again. Right, we'll do the same underdogs team talk again. Let's play on this whole underdogs thing. And I guess this is where West Brom come back into it. We're not going to do this 2 days in a row because that's silly. That's not how Football Manager is supposed to work. But, doesn't half make your dream, boys and girls. An hour gone, we're still in the lead. Wolf is nervous. Critchlow Noble's nervous. Mail is nervous. We might need to adjust some personnel to account for some of these nerves. Right, let's have a look. Who have we got who's not playing very well? Mick Powell's not playing well. We've got Levi Potton on the bench. Broom's not having a great game. Wolf, though, is the one who was nervous. That worries me the most. So we're going to bring George Hornshaw on in midfield. And I think we are going to bring on Levi Potton up front just because romance tells me this is a game that Levi Potton is going to want to play quite well in. Oh. Come on, lads, just dig in, keep battling. Why have we taken off our captain? What am I thinking? Because he wasn't playing well. It's just any other game that'll do us good in the long term. Taking Powell off there, it will show him that he's not unsubstitutable. 1 goal here from West Brom. I think I've said West Ham already this episode. I keep meaning West Brom. There shouldn't be 2 teams in West, wherever that is. And don't question me on that. Manchester has Manchester United, Manchester City. West has West Ham, West Brom. That makes sense to me. But 1 goal conceded here, if we could then hold on for 15 minutes, is a big payday. And as much fun as an FA Cup run is, it's distracting, and we're obviously not going to win it. We're in the Conference North. So sooner or later, let's forget romance and have a payday. But Ryan Broom's not playing very well. We have got Joe Hardy. Can Joe Hardy actually play on the wing? Am I really going to try a player in a new position in this match? I really don't think I am. I kind of want to bring Lerick Fernandez on because he's our youngster. He's one of our own. I want to get him on, but it doesn't feel like the game to bring him on because he'd have to come on for Smith, and Smith is having a good game, but he is tired. You know what? Lerick Fernandez, get on there. Show me you're a superstar. He's one of our Patreon youngsters. He came through our own youth team, and he's got the opportunity to make himself a hero, get on Match of the Day. My word. It's still 2-1 with 5 minutes to go. West Brom coming at us. Critchlow Noble clears forward towards Potton. It's stopped snowing now. Finds Broom. Broom running down the right-hand side. Plays it into Lerick Fernandez. There's Hornshaw. Oh my word. George Hornshaw has just scored an absolute screamer. We're going to get into the 5th round of the FA Cup. This is 2 Premier League teams we'll have knocked out of this competition. Is this even real? I have never known a Football Manager save like it. I have never known a team like it. Home they're basically built of romance and delight. My word. Don't mess it up now. I've just done poetry and stuff. God, just hold on. This is madness. Critchlow Noble with the throw. We're still attacking. Critchlow Noble plays it into Hornshaw. Lerick Fernandez now to Pozo. To Critchlow Noble. I've said that name too many times in the last 10 minutes. Pozo to Hornshaw. Hornshaw back into Pozo to Fernandez to Clark. We're knocking the ball around West Brom like we're the Premier League side. Fernandes looks like there's three of him on the pitch. Critchlow-Noble again. Back to Hornshaw again. Pozo again. Fernandes again. Holy smoke. There's 4 minutes of time added on, but we're 3-1 up against West Brom. West Brom, who are pushing for a Champions League finish this season. I don't understand Football Manager anymore. This team is not this good. We're not even top of our own league, for goodness sake. Our ground is an intimidating... It's not even our ground. Rawns' ground is clearly a very intimidating place for Premier League teams to come. Well, I never. More money will be coming in. Will we get a big Premier League team in the next round? How much do we get for winning that match? £187,000. Look at our bank balance. We started this season £700,000 in debt because of the new ground. We've made £1 million of profit this season. And we've knocked out 2 Premier League teams. We're going to do the draw in a minute, but I need to lie down. I don't actually know when the draw for the next round of the FA Cup is. It hasn't happened yet. So it might be a surprise tomorrow, because I don't have to play on loads of matches now to finish making this video, or else I won't get the video out in time. So I guess unless it happens directly after this game, that's going to be a surprise. We are back in the league today, though. We are still going to use the 4-3-3, mainly because Ian Dolo's injured and we don't have anyone else who can play in there. So for the time being, we're back to the 4-3-3 in all competitions. We will look to get Ian Dolo back into the team as soon as we can. We've made a few changes for this game. Vaughan has moved out to right back. Critchlow-Noble's picked up a little bit of a knock, so he's just going to sit out this game. He should be back in time for the next match. Davis is going to come in at right back for Diallo, who drops down to the bench purely because he's shattered after all the running he did against West Brom. Other than that, it is the same side. There's no reason to change anyone anywhere else. They were brilliant, and hopefully will be brilliant again today against Boston in another LOLLUJO derby, as we take on the very first team I managed in a non-league to legend here on YouTube. So let's assertively say I do expect us to go out and win this game, because forget FA Cup nonsense. Our mind is back fully focused on the league again today. We're playing Wrexham in 3 games' time. We have a game in hand on them. That game in hand isn't this, but it would be very nice to be able to go to the Wrexham game in 3 games' time, knowing that a win would put us top of the league. Although it looks like they've already gone ahead in their game. So as nice as it might be, it looks like it's fairly unlikely. Where are they? Because it's somehow gone out to us. There you go. Wrexham have already gone ahead against Blythe Spartans in that game. So maybe we'll just have to do the playoffs. We've shown over the last few years we're not bad on a knockout basis. So if we do have to go down the route of the playoffs, then so be it. We did call it before the season started that it was going to be very unlikely that we finished above Wrexham. So maybe it's just going to be very unlikely that we finish above Wrexham. We've had a really poor first half, actually. I do hope our heads aren't too far up in the clouds. Let's give them a bit of a slap. That was rubbish. Let's sort ourselves out a little bit. We have got quite a few players who've been quite important over the course of the last season and a half who aren't even on the bench today. If anyone starts to let their performance levels drop, we've got Benson, we've got Buckley, we've got Cottrell, we've got Stanley. There's plenty of players who can come into this team. We've got Shane Phillips. There's 5 there straight away who you could bring them in now and not feel like we've worsened the team. So there can't be anybody resting on their laurels trying to keep themselves injury-free going into whoever we play in the next round. Because as we showed with Connor Stanley, I'm a ruthless monster. And if someone upsets me between the 2 matches, they won't even be in the squad for the next one. That should have been a goal there. Right, we have a corner. It's with Pozo. Can he find a home shirt, or head probably is, but more effective than the shirt. The shirt. How often do you score off the shirt? Fairly rare. Let's try and find a home head. But nothing. No home heads here. How many people have turned up for this after the West Brom game, actually? Because surely they've now seen Arsenal and West Brom come here to Kiln Park. Surely sooner or later they just start turning up every week because they know how special it can be. Right, let's take off Smith as well. Bring on Hornshaw. We've also brought on Hardy for Powell. Just again, Powell's kind of drifted out of form again. I think Powell really does thrive in the 4-2-3-1 with Ian Dolo behind him. I think he gets a little bit a little bit isolated when he's playing as the lone striker. I don't think he likes doing it. So that's probably a consideration as we go forward, that we might have to really focus in on making the 4-2-3-1 our chosen formation. But for now, let's just try other strikers, and because we've only got that one attacking midfielder, so we don't have the option to bring anyone else in at the moment. Broom back off the crossbar. If we can't win this, what are we? I don't understand. I don't understand how we can beat West Brom so convincingly and then fail to beat Boston, who are below us in the division we're actually in. They're in the same position in this division as West Brom are in the Premier League. We outclassed West Brom. We've been rubbish against Boston. I don't understand that. You get some aggression there, because that was terrible. Just a big pile of terrible turd. And we need to do better for our next game, which is against Kettering. And then we have the big one against Wrexham, which isn't going to be a top of the table clash anymore, because even if we win it, we won't go top. I don't know if Kettering's our game in hand. What I do want to know is when we're playing next in the FA Cup, because that will be tomorrow's video. It'll be the next round of the FA Cup. But when do we find out who we're going to be playing? Let's have a look. FA Cup. The Emirates FA Cup. We are definitely in it still. They're not even playing the rest of the 4th round until early February. Tuesday the 8th of February, there's still first round games going on. I don't know when the 5th round kicks into effect. The matches are going to be... I tell you what, if the round is going to be drawn tomorrow, I will show you the draw. I'm not that much of a monster. Let's do an FA Cup 5th round draw. Find out who we've got tomorrow. Find out if we do finally get our big away game payoff that we're hoping for as part of this cup run. Manchester United away, for example, would be utterly delicious at this stage. We've gone far enough for the romance and the bit of fun. Now we want Chelsea or Liverpool or Manchester United away from home. There are not many teams left in this tournament. Holy smoke. We don't want Harrogate. Right, that's good. QPR is not big enough. I mean, really at this stage, anyone away from home is going to be our record ever gate receipts. But we want someone super big. Preston, that's fine. Manchester United or Bradford, this is the one that we want. And then watch Bradford beat Manchester United. But Manchester United away would be delicious. Oh my God. Right. Draw the... When do they play that? When do they play their 4th round game? I need to know. I need to know when that's... Oh my God, we could be playing Manchester United away from home. If Manchester United don't mess up against Bradford, that is genuinely a potential £1 million payday. We could be playing Manchester United at Old Trafford tomorrow. Right. This is another one where we should be getting 1,000 likes because there's such spectacular stuff going on. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching. Manchester United away!